Whoa, they like.
What's up, y'all? This is Relly, all back with another video, and today we gotta talk about the cast. But before we get into that, make sure to smash the subscribe button, and if you are already subscribed, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed, because we are on the grind for 1,000 subscribers, and with y'all, I know I can get there. But with all that being said, let's talk Cleveland Cavaliers. We need some shooters. Cedi Osman cannot, and I mean cannot, be your only pure three-point shooter on the floor, right? And I love that we fought hard, especially in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, but we need some shooters, man. Like, I understand we got a lot of players that could potentially shoot the three ball, but we don't have a lot of pure shooters. Like, if you watch that game, you notice Indy had Doug McDermott, who was just killing us for three after three after three. And it didn't make it any better that Andre Drummond, Larry Nance Jr., and JaVale McGee was in foul trouble early. Then some of the fouls was questionable, to say the least. Like, extremely questionable, right? Like, the refs obviously was not on our side tonight. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that the refs was the main reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers lost. Absolutely not. Because our offense was just not good. Like, for whatever reason, we was just really cold tonight, just like when we played the New York Knicks. But the fouls didn't give us any type of leeway, because if you just paid attention to the game, everybody was just like, they were just upset. Like, every time the ref would blow the whistle, they was like, oh my God, again, right? Like, on offense, they wasn't giving us calls, but on defense, we would literally look at a player and we would get called for it. And you can just tell, like Austin Carr said it, like, the young players and even the veterans was just getting frustrated. And it was just like, they was almost in a situation, what do we do? Like, even in the fourth quarter, Andre Drummond obviously got hit with a shoulder by Sabonis, and they did not call it. But what they did call was a technical on Andre Drummond, because he was so frustrated that the ref was right there, but he did not make the call. This whole game was tough. But the quarter I really want to talk about is the third quarter, because this is where the fouls and our stagnant offense really started to hurt us, man. Like, that quarter right there is where the Indiana Pacers start going on a legitimate run, and it start getting really scary, because it was like, man, has the Cleveland Cavaliers given up? And the fouls wasn't making it better, right? Like, when you're not hitting anything and the refs is calling you for literally everything, and you feel like you're not getting any type of calls on the other end, it makes players, especially young players, be like, man, I just want to get to the next game, man. And even the veterans, you can just tell, like JaVale McGee and Andre Drummond, they was getting upset. Like, you can just see on their face, they was like, man, why are these refs here if they're going to play us like this? You get what I'm saying? And it just did not help our situation at all. And also, what this third quarter has shown us is how important consistency is going to be going forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this is where I have to insert Andre Drummond, because a lot of people is going to look at Andre Drummond's stats and say Andre Drummond was very impactful, until you watch Andre Drummond on the court. And this is why I said in my previous Cleveland Cavalier video, Andre Drummond is going to have to set the tone, right, on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. And when he decides that he's not going to set the tone and he's going to do this hoopla, it literally trickles down to the rest of the roster, right? And I'm not saying this is all Andre Drummond's fault, because it's not, right? But if Andre Drummond inserts himself early, I'm telling y'all how different the Cleveland Cavaliers is going to look. And anybody that's a Cleveland Cavalier fan, you know how much anticipation we have on the return of Kevin Porter Jr., Isaac Okoro, and as well as Kevin Love. And also, too, because I feel like a lot of people got questions about this, why did I have Max Kellerman rapping in the beginning of the video? And honestly, I don't know. I laughed and I was like, why not? Why not? You know, maybe y'all want to laugh. And for more amazing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the grind. And with that being said, go.
Hey. Motivated all about cash flow, ran it up and ran out of excuses. In the field and we turned into hoopers. For the clip like bonds we shoot. Just like some soldiers we trooping. Step back three, we hooping. We in house just like Fortnite.